In a quiet desert village, so hushed you could almost hear the sun touching the sand, lived a boy named Noor. Noor was different. While other kids played games in the dusty streets, he walked alone, his eyes always scanning the horizon, searching for something he couldn't name. It was a feeling, a whisper in his heart, a pull toward the unknown. He felt like a single note in a grand symphony, just waiting for the rest of the music to begin. Every day was the same quiet rhythm. Wake, walk, search, sleep. He'd trace patterns in the sand, imagining them as maps to lost cities or forgotten treasures. The villagers would watch him, shaking their heads with a gentle smile. "That's just Noor," they'd say, always chasing the wind. One evening, the desert was set ablaze with color. The sun, a fiery orb, dipped below the dunes, painting the sky in shades of orange, purple, and gold. The world seemed to hold its breath. As Noor made his way home, a single point of light caught his eye. It wasn't a star, and it wasn't the moon. It was something buried, winking at him from beneath a thin layer of sand. His curiosity took over. It knelled down his heart, starting to beat a little faster. Gently, he brushed away the grains of sand, his fingers tracing the outline of something cool and metallic. He dug carefully, feeling the familiar texture of the desert give way to something solid and ornate. As he lifted it from its sandy bed, the last rays of sunlight struck it, and it gleamed with a brilliant, golden light. It was a key, not just any key, but one intricately carved with symbols he had never seen before, swirling and dancing along its length. It felt warm in his hand, almost alive. As his fingers wrapped around it, the key began to thrum with a soft, pulsing energy. The light grew brighter and brighter, a warm, golden glow that enveloped him completely. The air in front of him started to shimmer, like a heat haze on a blistering day. But this was different. It twisted and warped, the colors of the sunset pouring into a single point before bursting open into a swirling vortex of light. A portal. It hummed with a sound that was both a high-pitched chime and a deep, resonant bass, a melody from another world. Noor stood frozen, a mix of terror and awe washing over him. Before he could even think to take a step back, an invisible force grabbed him and pulled him forward. He was weightless, tumbling through a tunnel of impossible colors and shapes. He landed softly, not on sand, but on what felt like solid cloud. He looked up, and his breath caught in his throat. He was in a world of floating islands, green and lush, drifting lazily through a sky that glowed with a perpetual twilight. Waterfalls cascaded from the edges of these islands into the misty abyss below. Strange, luminous plants pulsed with gentle light, and the air hummed with a quiet, magical energy. As he tried to make sense of it all, a small bird, its feathers shimmering with all the colors of a rainbow, fluttered down and landed on a branch nearby. It tilted its head, and then, in a voice that sounded like tiny silver bells, it spoke. "Welcome, Noor! You are the chosen one." Noor stumbled back, his eyes wide, a talking bird. A world in the sky. He looked at his own hands, then at the golden key still clutched tightly in his fist. "Me." He stammered, his voice barely a whisper. Chosen for what? This has to be a dream. But the feel of the cool, solid ground beneath his feet told him it was all too real. His solitary walks, his endless searching, had it all been leading to this? The little bird simply chirped, a knowing look in its tiny, bright eyes. But far away, across the floating islands, in the darkest shadows of this magical realm, a sinister presence stirred. A deep, gravelly voice, ancient and full of malice, whispered into the void, a sound like grinding stone. "The key has returned." At last, and for Noor, the boy who searched for something he couldn't explain, the real adventure was only just beginning. Thanks for watching, and be sure to subscribe to see what happens next in Noor's incredible journey.